Welcome to Flickast. Join the Flickast family and prepare for a unique journey into the world of cinema, where entertainment meets cultural enrichment. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell to receive our news. Share your thoughts and comments with us as we aim to build a community that shares your passion for movies. So let us summarize for you a wonderful movie called Hannibal Rising. In a small dock, the Hannibal siblings, Hannibal and Misha, play innocently until a loud cannon sound forces them to run home. Upon arrival, their mother shouts at them to quickly get into the carriage because they must leave. War has reached their country, Lithuania. This compels their family to move to a small cabin in search of refuge, distancing themselves from large cities where soldiers loot and kill. German forces invade the Lecter house, seizing everything valuable, but fortunately, the family had already moved to safety. A few days later, a Russian tank arrives at the cabin, soldiers disembark, and the family is subdued. After robbing them of water and food, the soldiers interrogate them about hidden valuables. Meanwhile, German planes approach, and the tank opens fire. The plane retaliates, and bullets end up killing the father. In the explosion, the soldiers and the siblings' mother also die. Not far away, a group of German deserters is plundering villages and killing innocent people, fleeing from patrols. They spot the cabin where the siblings are now alone. Hannibal tries to care for his sister, but with little food and harsh cold, they struggle. The deserters arrive, subdue the siblings, consume their remaining food, and tie them up with chains while ransacking the place. Several days pass, and hunger begins to affect the deserters' minds, leading to internal conflicts and near starvation. 8 years have passed since the war, and the horrific events at the cabin are behind them. Hannibal, now a teenager, is in an orphanage for war survivors, experiencing abuse due to his strange and reserved behavior. Unable to bear the memories of the day he witnessed his sister's murder, he decides to escape and travel to the only remaining family member, his distant uncle in France. After a challenging journey, Hannibal arrives in France and is received by Lady Murasaki, who informs him that his uncle has been dead for over a year. They now live alone, and during Hannibal's stay, he struggles with haunting memories of his sister's death. Weeks pass, and one night he follows his aunt to an altar, where she pays respects to her Japanese roots. There, she shows him armor and swords, sharing stories of her homeland. Hannibal becomes interested, and Lady Murasaki teaches him all she knows. She finds solace in his company after her husband's death. During a market visit, a fisherman makes inappropriate advances toward Lady Murasaki, prompting Hannibal to intervene. Later, during meditation, Hannibal contemplates justice, connecting the fisherman's behavior with the deserters who killed his sister. Driven by a desire for justice, Hannibal plans to start with the fisherman. The next day, Hannibal discovers the fisherman's workplace, waits for him, and demands an apology upon his return. The fisherman responds with insults, leading Hannibal to enact his revenge that night. The police later find the fisherman's body, missing its head, with signs of a clean, swift cut. In the villa, Hannibal, now accepted into medical school, moves with Lady Murasaki to Paris for a fresh start. During a war criminal interrogation, Hannibal, as a forensic medicine student, is invited to participate. The inspector administers a truth serum, revealing how the drug induces honesty. Hannibal decides to use it to recall details of his sister's death. Returning home, Hannibal tries to remember the day, reliving the horrifying moments and discovering the deserters' identification plates still in the cabin. Hannibal decides to return to Lithuania using a new identity. One deserter, now a high-ranking officer, recognizes the name Lecter and investigates. At the cabin, Hannibal recovers his mother's jewels and the deserters' identification plates. The deserter officer confronts Hannibal, attempting to attack him from behind, but Hannibal overpowers him. The next morning, Hannibal gives his sister a proper burial, then turns to the officer, interrogates him, and, after learning the locations of the other deserters, kills him using a horse and a rope. Hannibal informs Lady Murasaki of his findings, and she supports his quest for vengeance. They travel to the city where the next deserter, now a restaurant owner, resides. Hannibal places the identification plate in the pocket of the owner's daughter as a gift to her father. When the owner discovers it, memories of the war flood back. Concerned about the threat, the owner meets with the other deserters, now arms dealers, who send the youngest, Milka, to kill Hannibal. Milka attempts to murder Hannibal in the medical school during his nocturnal studies, but Hannibal, aware of his presence, surprises him with a sedative injection. Hannibal hangs Milka over a formalin tank. Extracting information about their leader, Brutus, the inspector appears, but Hannibal calmly converses with him, concealing the ongoing events. While Milka drowns in the adjacent room, Hannibal shares his story with the inspector. In the villa, the relationship between Hannibal and Lady Murasaki becomes more personal. She passionately kisses him, and he reciprocates before requesting an end to the killings. However, Hannibal is determined to complete his vengeance. In the next scene, Hannibal infiltrates Brutus's mansion, surprising him with a weapon. Brutus, anticipating the visit, intensifies security, leading to Hannibal's capture. Brutus revels in his victory, ready to slit Hannibal's throat, but the unexpected happens. A bomb planted by Hannibal explodes, allowing him to escape. Returning home, Hannibal receives a call from Brutus, who has kidnapped Lady Murasaki. Brutus proposes a deal, and Hannibal, hearing the same birds as in Colnus's restaurant, decides to visit there first. Then he calls him again, and it seems that Hannibal is already in the store, showing him his daughter's bracelet and telling him that he visited his home before coming here. He then pulls out a bag, thinking it's his daughter's head, but it's a trick by Hannibal. He then asks him about the whereabouts of Murasaki, and after he tells him, he kills him with a sword. On the other side, Hannibal reaches the location of Brutus and Murasaki, realizing that Brutus was trying to attack her. He sneaks up on him, defeats him, and before killing him, he asks about the whereabouts of the last soldier. Before informing him, Brutus reveals that he ate with them from his sister's flesh, enraging Hannibal. Hannibal explodes in anger, carving the letter M on his skin. One of Brutus's soldiers attempts to stab Hannibal, but Murasaki thrusts the sword into his neck. After killing Brutus, Murasaki tells Hannibal that she loves him, but leaves him, stating that he is a man without feelings. Hannibal then turns to the last soldier and kills him, including the story of the day. Thank you for your time and consideration. We highly value your support and encourage you to subscribe to the channel. Your viewership means a lot to us. Thanks again for watching.